Welcome to It Happened in Grand Prairie, Texas, as we bring you the history of our city and of some of the people that have made history happen, and some that are even continuing to make history happen this very day. And this is our history tape 602. 602 times we've been able to bring you the history of Grand Prairie, Texas. We're delighted today. We're bringing you one of the most special history tapes that we have ever performed in my tenure. And we have two magnificent ladies as our guests today on this August the 13th, 2007. And first of all, we have Tracy Hollis. Now, Tracy Hollis is the Grand Prairie ISD Nature Center Director, and she has 13 other names to that title, but we give her, she is the guru of science for all of the students in Grand Prairie, Texas that come through her nature center, and it's just magnificent.
Good morning.
Welcome
How are
to
you?
the show, my dear.
Thank you for having me.
We're delighted that we could find you on your calendar that would give us 15 minutes.
You're more than welcome. I'm honored. Thank you.
Oh, that's great. Also, we have Anna Ferguson. Anna Ferguson is with the Grand Prairie ISD also, but she is an environmental specialist, first of all, for Grand Prairie High School. And all of the environs around it, she adopts everything around Grand Prairie High School that looks like it needs environmental attention. And we're so pleased to have them with us today. At the beginning of this history tape, we're celebrating, or have just recently celebrated, the 40th anniversary of Keep Texas Beautiful. And you say, now what does that have to do with these ladies? They are so involved in that you wouldn't believe it, through the Grand Prairie Beautification Program, which is Keep Grand Prairie Beautiful, and for the schools that have joined in with the Grand Prairie's wonderful, wonderful happening in our city for beautification and trees and nature and things. We're so happy to bring these two ladies as the stars of all of the 40 years that this speaker has spent in beautification on behalf of the city of Grand Prairie, on behalf of Dallas County, and on behalf of the state. We were asked to pick our two most outstanding programs during those 40 years. We've worked with 6 governors, we've worked with a lot of people in beautification, but these two ladies have been outstanding not only in their work, but in receiving awards from both the city of Grand Prairie's Keep Grand Prairie Beautiful, Keep Dallas County Beautiful, Keep Texas Beautiful, and bless Pat, Keep America Beautiful. They have on their desks many awards from all of these, and also from the Clean and Green something that happened in San Francisco. They carried me to San Francisco because these
You were the toast of the town for that one.
You were all so involved in things away from here that you sent us on a sojourn. So we're going to take a little bit of our time to salute these two wonderful stars that we have. Now, I guess you would call Tracy Hollis from South Grand Prairie High School portion.
Well, now, I taught there officially for 10 years, but both my parents were Gophers. So I
have mixed blood.
I have mixed blood, but that is a blessing in this town sometimes, because I work with all children.
All children. And since we have Grand Prairie High School and South, and a melding of the two.
Yes, ma'am.
Isn't that good?
Yes, ma'am, it is. Way it should be.
We're going to take you to task first of all,
Okay.
Tracy Hollis. How long have you been in Grand Prairie, Texas?
Well, actually, I went to school for 1st and 2nd grade at Crockett Elementary. So when my parents lived here for quite a long time and graduated from Grand Prairie High School, so I'm born in Grand Prairie.
Yes.
So I started here, but this is my 25th year. I'm starting my 25th year to be a teacher for Grand Prairie Independent School District this fall. So it's already 25.
25, that's silver, isn't it?
I think
you could demand silver on almost anything.
I'll work on that. Thanks.
Yes,
Can you work on that for me?
Yes, let's work on that silver part
okay.
of all of the things that you've done before that. Give me a little step-by-step what you started teaching and then how you ended up at the Science Center and a little storyline.
Well, the reason that I've had a storied life in Grand Prairie ISD is because I don't stay still very often.
I can tell.
You've known me long enough to know that. So I have degrees in physics and chemistry and started teaching at South Grand Prairie High School. Whoa, almost said Grand Prairie. South Grand Prairie High School in 1982. And where I taught physics, chemistry, biology, astronomy, coached volleyball, tennis, and math and science teams.
Yes.
So early on, I was busy. Then, 10 years after that, into that, I was asked to be the science director for the school district. And I was very honored to do so, and went to the administrative building and did that for 8 years.
All right.
And loved working with the teachers, loved working with the staff development, but was missing one huge element of why I got into this bit. The kids.
The kids.
I was seeing way too many adults. Nothing against the adults, but so I was very, very blessed in working with some very good teachers, including Anna, that sort of designed and dreamed what we could have for a nature center for the school district.
How'd you get the nature center? Come on.
I tell you what, we just did a lot of planning and talked to the city. A huge thanks goes to the Parks and Recreation Department because they worked directly with us. We had Kirby Creek sitting there in 1991.
In this big house.
In this big house that would have been used for various reasons for the city, and to the agreement of the Parks and Rec at that time was being underutilized.
Yes.
And so our advisory committee at the time said, hey, this looks like a fantastic place for a nature center. And
You've been there how long?
I've been doing this for 7 years now.
For 7 years. How many kids have you cycled and recycled through that place?
Oh, goodness. Well, I'm doing about 14,000 kids a year times 8, so that's a lot of kids.
That's a bunch.
Bunch of kids, and it's growing. We're adding a new elementary this year, Mosley Elementary, so we're just adding more and more children. Right now I work basically with kindergarten through 5th grade and do special topic research with middle school and high school. But every kindergarten through 5th grade kiddo sees me every year.
Every year?
Every year.
That's the reason you haven't been able to be on my show, because every time I call you,
I've
you're
got
with
kids.
the kids.
I've got kids. In fact, you should bring the show on the road and come to us after kids.
Oh, yeah, big deal. I need to do that, don't I?
You need to come out and hang out with us and interview the kids. While
I'll have to get Louis Tobar I'll talk with him about
that.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
Yeah.
Well, do you have anyone helping you at the Science Center, or are you there alone?
I am there alone only in body. I'm not alone in spirit. The teachers come to me and I train them on all the different things that they need to do with the kids when they're there.
Yes.
So I would say I have a lot of different instructors there, because the teachers do a lot of instruction.
Hands-on.
Yes, ma'am. So, but I am actually only a personnel out there, so I do keep busy.
You have a garden nearby. That's not yours, is it?
I have a vegetable garden, of which is the school district's, but it is maintained by volunteers.
Okay.
Through Linda Clemens and her group.
Yeah.
And
that's with the city?
That's with the city, and I wouldn't have a garden if it weren't for them. So it is a truly working relationship between the school district and the city.
You have an amphitheater down near the creek.
Yes, ma'am, 200 seat. I've got a pond, herb garden, butterfly garden. We're doing a prairie restoration, which is looking pretty good right now. It's got some other stuff in the restoration that doesn't belong, but we've actually got quite a few of the grasses that came up with all the extra rain that we got this summer.
Do you think that the Science Center and your majestic ability to facilitate it has anything to do with your getting awards from all of those things that I mentioned, and your comment on that?
I think it's a combination, and it's not really my awards. Sometimes I get to be the person that goes up on the stage, and sometimes my name might be on the thing, but it really is
all of the
award
teachers.
For all of the kids, all the teachers. It really is a group effort. It could not happen without that. So I would say that first. Second off, I think that we get a lot of national recognition because of our Green and Clean campus program.
Yes.
I not only have kids coming to me, but I also have 62 teachers that on their own time, their own volition, no extra money, just all for the right reasons, come and meet with me once every 2 months, sometimes once a month.
At the library?
At the library.
Yes.
And we talk about environmental education on the campus. So in other words, the kids aren't just getting really good integrated environmental education when they come see me.
Yes.
Hopefully they're seeing it every day. And we've got teachers who care enough to come and meet with us through the Green and Clean Campus program, all of the recycling that we do, all the other environmental education we do. I think that's why we get national attention, because we're not just what I call a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
We are
You're forever.
truly across the board integrated into the schools, and trying to make a difference in a lot of different ways, not just one thing. I think that's why we get the attention we do.
Is your Grand Prairie ISD, through your efforts, the only school that has a program where you get to all of the teachers in all of the elementary schools?
You know, I'm very proud because of the Keep Texas Beautiful Awards and the Go Green Initiative Awards. We've got a lot of school districts that are doing trying to do exactly what Grand Prairie's doing, and some of them doing a very good job at it, which makes my heart sing, because as much as I want Grand Prairie to be the best at something, I've got other school districts getting on board with that. I think that we do a better job of getting to the teachers because I'm actually with the school district. A lot of times it's an outside entity trying to get into the teachers. And sometimes that is an arduous task. So I think we're as effective as we are is because I'm actually with the school district. So I think there's a lot of different reasons why it works.
Very quickly, we're going over this because we're down to the time when
yes, ma'am. We got to talk to Miss Anna.
And Miss Anna's sitting there waiting. You are president of the Texas Association of Environmental Education, and that's current.
Yes,
you
ma'am.
made 3 trips to Austin this last week.
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Educator of the Year, Learning for Life, and that's the BSA. Is that Boy Scouts
Yes,
of America?
ma'am. That was just
all
recent.
right. The Environmental Educator of the Year, the Bluebonnet DAR Award in '06. The Environmental Educator of the Year from Keep Texas Beautiful. The Environmental Educator of the Year in '04 for the Texas Association for Environmental Education, and the Administrator of the Year of the Grand Prairie ISD in 2003. And some of the district awards: District of the Year, Keep Texas Beautiful; District of the Year, Keep Texas Beautiful another year; Go Green National Award; School District of the Year in 2005; and the Innovation Program Award, the DFW Metro Park and Recreation 1998 Award. And that's not all, but I don't have time to read everything.
Well, like I said, I'm blessed.
Which one of these is your little school bell?
Actually, this one right here on your right, that was for the Educator of the Year Award for Keep Texas Beautiful, which is a year before last. Yes, very, very honored to receive that.
Have you received any of the Ruthie Jackson Youth Awards for Keep Texas Beautiful?
I've received that as well through all of the school districts. We've received it for various schools as well as Educator. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just keep it even for education and youth.
Yes, ma'am.
That's the most meaningful thing to some of us. We're going to let you rest a minute.
Okay.
We've just
we've got a wonderful person sitting
all
right
right,
next to
Miss Anna, you're next, my
Yes,
dear. It's just so great to have both of y'all here. Now, Anna, at Grand Prairie High School, how long have you been in Grand Prairie, Texas?
Well, I've been in Grand Prairie, Texas for 27 years.
27 years.
Yes, ma'am.
Start and give us a rundown on during those 27 years what you've been doing.
Well, very briefly, I started on an elementary level at Bonham for several years, and then I came to Grand Prairie High School, and I've been at Grand Prairie. I just made that my home, and I've been there ever since. I started actually early on in the science department, and then also coached tennis for several years.
Yes.
And I actually had your grandson.
Yes.
Yeah. And so then as I went through the science curriculums, I picked out my favorite area, and my favorite became my goal.
Yes.
And my love was environmental.
Environmental.
And, yes, ma'am. And so I've worked into developing. Ms. Hollis actually assigned me the AP Advanced Placement Environmental Science program at Grand Prairie High School in 1998. It was the very first year that the state of Texas offered Advanced Placement Environmental.
Yes.
So we were just getting that started, and so I was very honored to have that opportunity. And if I may use this phrase, it was like at the very beginning we didn't know that much about it. We were just starting. We were just getting our feet wet in the pond, so to speak. So, and we've grown a lot since then. And I've grown with my program and been very excited about learning with the kids and seeing what new leaves that we could turn over and
Yes.
develop. And
All right, now you have the apes at Grand Prairie High School, and everyone, their feelers get out and say, now, Ms. Jackson, what in the world is the apes? Tell me what you do with the kids that they're called apes.
well, that is of course short for, that's our acronym for Advanced Placement Environmental Science.
Yes.
And we we of course report curriculum-wise to the College Board for education, and then so our curriculum is based on that program.
Yes.
But we have the freedom, and we have been given the support to reach out and do all of the field trip research. We're talking about
projects.
water quality monitoring.
Oh, yes.
Recycling, every facet of recycling that we can possibly do and maintain at Grand Prairie High School, and of course we do that in all the schools. But we really have developed our program at Grand Prairie, and then I assume it was a 2001.
I was trying to figure out what the year.
It was 2001. Because the first class to work was APES class was 2002. We were working with Miss Hollis and through Miss Hollis, and when the mitigation occurred with GPISD
Yes.
for Grand Prairie High
Prairie
School's
School.
new track and field area and softball facility.
When you redid the whole campus.
Ninth grade. So
Yeah,
in the building
ninth
of
grade center.
in the construction of the ninth grade center, we
Moving the
inherited-
tennis courts.
Exactly, everything. We inherited a small area that was actually a wetland preserved and was named so. So we worked through the Corps of Engineers, Army Corps of Engineers for several years, and the district, we all coordinated together to maintain, develop, and restore that area.
And keep it as a wild place.
Exactly.
Yes.
And the kids were hands-on in that. I assume that it was in 2000 and probably class of 2003 that we started a green in, green out at Grand Prairie High School. And that was a goal to concentrate on the environmental issues outside of the building itself and then inside. So it was a green in, green out. And the green out our goal became the wetland preserve. And we officially named it the Grand Prairie High School Wetland Preserve and Outdoor Learning Area.
Yes.
Developed an outdoor classroom and amphitheater through an Eagle Scout project. We've had approximately 4 to 5 Eagle Scout projects that have been helpful. Not just my class, but it's been an outreach to all the different community facets, and that facility has really developed a lot.
Yes, it has.
And her particular project was one of the main jewels in the crown, I think, when a lot of people look at us nationally.
Yes.
Of what they were able to do. I mean, the students were actually doing a lot of the restoration, in charge of making sure it stays, everything stayed alive and everything got planted, and it's huge. It's a huge task, and each year her APES group takes that on. So it's very important.
We started with immediately when we first began at 66 plantings, and we're now up to 130 native species and plantings, and Butterfly Hill and the development of that area, and then of course the maintenance of the wetland itself.
Yes.
The amphibian, reptile.
It's a huge undertaking.
Yes.
Yes.
Much more work than people understand.
And it's recycling of the Hardeman property there that Mr. Hardeman Senior and his family would be so proud of.
Right.
It's
I
really,
would hope so.
It's really excellent. Now, all of your awards that you have received, locally, regionally, statewide at Keep Texas Beautiful, but how many of the first place national awards from Keep America Beautiful do you have these little trinkets sitting on your desk to commemorate that?
Well, they're actually not on my desk, and they're not mine, but I feel very strongly about them, and we've been able to they donated a library area for us to put, but we're running out of space.
Oh, good.
Isn't that exciting?
That's good.
And this is our national award from 2006.
Yes.
And it was our third national award.
3 years
3 years in a row.
3 years in a row.
Keep America
They don't
Beautiful.
even disqualify you after you sweep the
The
field.
top national program for secondary schools in the nation for environmental education projects.
And you just can't beat that with a
Can't
switch.
beat
And
it.
now you know why you're stars. And just tell me something about some of your other awards. You didn't bring me a list like this child did. I made her
I
bring
didn't
me a
even. You
list.
told me to. I
Yes.
minded you, Miss Ruthie.
Yes, I know you did.
Well, you did.
What's your favorite award of all?
I would have to say, well, our motto for the class is, for in the end, we can serve only what we love, and we love only what we understand, and we understand only what we're taught. And I'm the teaching part of it. And I feel that my whole job in this thing is planting seeds. And I've had all of these classes go through, and I feel each one of them have added something different to the program. And they've all been a very, real part of all of these awards, every
Yes.
one of them. We have several bells and several bowls, but they're nothing without the ongoing spirit that I believe we've created at Grand Prairie High School with the APES program.
Yes.
And I have to say this, more important than any awards are the fact that at our Keep Texas Beautiful conference, you saw 4 or 3 of my Grand Prairie High School class of 2004 APES that won the very first national award.
Yes.
And they have now gone on to be involved in their college program, and were there with the Honor Society receiving an award they just received their associate's degree
How wonderful.
and
So
from
they've
college.
continued.
They're
And
passing it
They've
on.
continued, and they're still winning
So
awards.
The seed planting is it really worked, and and so they've gone on to their college program and been involved. And in fact, I've got to say that 2 weeks ago, that about 8 of that program in that program came back from the class of 2004 and did a restoration at our wetland and worked all day long, and it was so exciting.
Well, never in my wildest dreams would I have believed that in 1965 we began beautification in Grand Prairie as a CHIC Commission, Community and Home Improvement Commission. George Popp and David Daniels. David has gone to heaven, but I think George is still on this earth with us. The 3 of us championed Grand Prairie and went to Washington on things, and then we got involved with Keep Texas Beautiful and have been there ever since. But all of those years, I never dreamed that because we started a little something stirring the bowl here in Grand Prairie, Texas, we would come out with 2 majestic winners that you all have been. And it just makes me so proud of you all that I even got to ride along and see all of this good stuff happening. Now
I have to say something real quick. I know we got a little bit of time, but we would not be where we are and doing what we're doing if it wasn't for the support of you and what you do and what you perpetuate at the city level.
That's the only time we have
Okay.
now. We're down to 23 minutes and 41 seconds, and I've got to give Georgia time to
Yes,
help
you
us
do.
end all of this.
Okay.
We've told your story, which is not even a smattering of what we could do for about 3 or 4 hours of pulling this together. I'm so thankful we have gotten you this far along on tape.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate
and
it.
thank you for all of your efforts and your love for kids and for giving us the time this morning.
All right. We love you. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Y'all are precious, and y'all are the 2 most exciting stars we've ever had on It's Happening in Grand Prairie, or It Happened in Grand Prairie, or anything else we were involved in. And
Thank you.
Thank you very much for being here. And we'll be right back with the rest of our show.
Hey, this is Owen Wilson.
This is Erica Badu.
I'm Janine Turner.
This is Julius Jones.
This is Lance Armstrong.
This is Leanne Womack.
We're Los Lonely Boys.
This is Chuck Norris.
This is Jennifer Love Hewitt reminding you.
Don't mess with Texas.
Welcome, Georgia Clemson. We're so glad to have you back with us on this ending of our 40th anniversary of Keep Texas Beautiful tenure that we have just recently experienced in San Antonio, Texas. And since you are a member of Keep Texas Beautiful and on the youth committee for Keep Texas Beautiful, plus the fact that you are on the board of the Ruthie Jackson Youth Endowment Trust that we have for the Youth Awards. We were so pleased to have you with us when we attended that magic date in San Antonio recently for the 40th anniversary. We'd just like for you to recap some of the things that you enjoyed there.
Well, that's not easy to do because there were so many things, Miss Jackson. It was great. It was most exciting to see how many people from Grand Prairie were there to participate, not only to participate, but to receive awards.
Isn't that good?
Yes, Grand Prairie got so much PR. I was just really proud to be from Grand Prairie. And it was exceptional because it was the 40th year, the anniversary of Keep Texas Beautiful.
Yeah.
And that was a celebration the entire time. Now, one thing that happened there that was sort of changed the tone of things was the death of Lady Bird,
Yes.
who was actually the stem winder of Keep Texas Beautiful. And that was that set the tone for several things, but other than that, the celebration was delightful. I know that our Grand Prairie people would have been proud of you and the fact that you were honored specifically down there as one of the original board members after 40 years. And that was an exciting presentation that Abby Halliday was the presenter for that award and made an original song, which I thought was exciting, to honor you and Mr. Ed Davis. And Abby, I came to learn, was not one of the original board members, but her husband,
Yes.
Maurice Akers, was an original, wasn't he?
Yes, true.
And so she, in his honor and memory, was the one who was selected to present this award. So that was very exciting.
Well, you attended the Youth Awards now, the Ruthie Jackson Youth Awards. They named that in my honor, and
Yes.
that was so exciting at one time during my career with them. But how did you enjoy all of the boys and girls that came from everywhere and their exuberance?
Well, it was really exciting to see the kids, that they are involved, that they have an interest in our environment and keeping Texas beautiful. You know, there are so many things going on in our world today that are negative. It was great to see some positive things.
And all of the boys and girls in their costumes and the different presentations, and some of them, one in the youth category and some in the education, and some of them duplicated, and that was what was so exciting to me, to see these things grow since 1975 when we began the Youth Awards, and now it is just fantastic to see how it spread over the state.
Yes, and I know that is one of your favorite projects, is the Youth Awards.
Yes.
And I was very glad to be able to see that.
Well, I was very thankful. They told me that I was elected to an emeritus status on the board, and that I would always be a member of the board as long as I'm living. But I won't be commanded to go to all of the board meetings and et cetera. And so that was kind of a relief for a real old lady.
Well, and also the fact that next year it will be closer to us because it will be in Irving, Texas.
It's going to be in Plano.
Is it Plano?
Irving?
I think it's in Las Colinas.
Las Colinas.
I think
well,
it is.
halfway in between there in Plano. That's
Right, that'll
good.
be easier to get to than San
Irving
Antonio.
is easy.
Yes.
Yes, that's wonderful. Well, I want to thank you, Georgia, on behalf of our family, for letting me go to Austin and other places over Texas and all over the United States for beautification. And it's exciting to have you there with us for a full convention. And
Yes.
that was really fun.
Yes, and I thought it was very nice of you to pass the torch on to me without my permission there in front of everybody.
And then wasn't it wonderful? And the fact that you surprised me with the attendance of Joel and Leanna Garcia and their 3 precious children.
Yes.
And my great-great-grandchildren of the world that came and surprised me and were at the presentation, and that was good.
Yes.
Well, we have 1 second, so thank you for being here. Thank you for helping us do a memory a little bit of what happened at San Antonio, Texas. It was
Yes.
really great.
Thank you.
You're a precious daughter.
Thank
you very much.
Love you.
And a special happy birthday to Mr. Jackson today. And thank you for being with us. And we're closing out. It happened in Grand Prairie, closing our 602nd project.